Simone, and welcome back to my channel if this isn't your first time. But this will be the first episode of my new knitting podcast series. I'm starting this mainly because I've been having so much fun knitting lately, and I just want to document it, as well as putting back into the knitting community, because most of the projects I've been working on recently have come from knitting YouTube influencers. So this is just my way of documenting, as well as, you know, hopefully helping someone else out finding a new project. So let's get started. So I want to begin with my finished projects. So this is a Lento sweater by Joanna Helene. It's all over Ravelry, and I ended up finding it off of watching a YouTube video. It was knitted by Whitney is actually where I found it the first time. And I had such a fun time knitting this sweater. It was my very first one that I've ever made, so I was just excited about the process, as well as just the pattern itself is such an open gauge that it knitted up really, really quickly. It was on, I think, sides US 6 needles here for the collar, as well as the we call it the cuffs, and then the body itself was all US 10. So very open gauge sweater, very quick, easy knit up. Also, on this, considering it was my first sweater knitting project in general, it was also a lot of firsts on this sweater because this is my first time doing the provisional cast on. So I had to do that for the collar here, because you see it's like knitted in one piece. So you knit it and then you fold it over, you pick up the stitches, and then that's kind of how you get this like folded neckline here. It took me a couple tries. I had to cast on and like take it out and then cast on again like 2 or 3 times, but I eventually figured it out. And I think it just looks so beautiful and seamless, and I love it, and I can't wait to use it again. I actually really enjoyed it once I figured it out. I watched so many YouTube videos. I think with this, I had to have a visual. I could not just like have someone tell me how to do it. I really needed that visual. So I'm glad that I took the time to figure it out and did it, so that way now moving forward I can do it all the time and I'll completely understand it. I've worn this sweater at least 3 or 4 times since casting off. Like I said, I cast off on my birthday. I was so excited to finally finish it before fall. It's taken it so long to get fall here in Chicago. It's finally getting there, but not really. I think today was like 72. I wore it I think maybe Tuesday or Monday of this week. It was maybe like 69, so it was okay-ish, but this is fingering weight held with mohair, so I was a little bit, hot, but, I just really wanted to wear it, so I went on ahead and did it. But I think when I get ready to make another one, this is also my first time working with holding mohair together. It was okay. I enjoyed working with it more than I do enjoy wearing the mohair. It did soften up after I blocked it, so that was good. So it does feel much better on the skin than when I was working with it. But I think if I were to make this pattern again, which I'm sure I will, I'm gonna do it with 2 fingering weight yarns held together instead of the mohair, just because I don't know that I'm a huge fan of mohair. Like, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, especially how it kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but like it kind of mats up too. And I'm like, I don't know, but I love the color of this sweater. And I actually got this yarn at a yarn pop-up shop here in Chicago called Fibre Friends. The owner, her name is Tina, and she also runs Saturday knitting meetups around the south side of Chicago. We meet up at different cafes and stuff like that. And I found them, it was like a flyer. I was walking home one day and I saw like, oh, yarn pop-up. So I went, it was June 8th, because it was Worldwide Knit and Public Day. Went to the pop-up and was like, I showed her the pattern. I was like, I want to make this sweater. I need the yarn. And lo and behold, she had like 2 colors that work perfectly together with the mohair and the fingering, and I just bought up a sweater quantity of it. So this is the fingering weight. It is, let me see the tag. It's the Fibre Co, I know. And then the yarn line is Amble. The color is called Heathland. Yep, I'm gonna show the tag. So the Fibre Co, Amble, color Heathland. This is what it looks like. So I really enjoyed working with this as well. And this was the mohair. This was Ewetopia. And I don't have the tag, and it must have fallen out. So I'll have to put the the color name, everything in the description. But I really enjoy working with these two yarns. I like the combination. I think that the two colors just work perfectly together. And I only ended up needing, I think, 2 skeins of this mohair, and then I ended up using about maybe 3 skeins of the fingering weight, because I believe I bought 4, and I ended up having a whole extra skein left. So that was pretty good. And I think with these two probably held together, I'm going to do a Sophie scarf that will match my Lento. So I'm excited about that, and I have more than enough yarn for I can probably make 2 Sophie scarves, or maybe just like a larger one and a small one with the amount of yarn I have left of this same combination. So I'm really excited about that. So moving on from my Lento, I'm gonna fold this up. We can move over to a project that is basically finished. Only thing left for me to do on this is to weave in the ends, and I am pretty excited about it. This pattern is a petite knit pattern, and it's a hat. You probably already guessed it. It's the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I have loved this pattern, and I do not enjoy knitting hats. No particular reason. I don't really wear hats, so the idea of making them is just not as fun, because I just, I'm not a huge fan of wearing them, so I just typically never knit them. But I enjoyed knitting this hat. It would have been a weekend knit if I would not have run out of yarn. So what happened is I'm apparently very bad at math. So I went to go buy the yarn for this project. Actually, it was during the Chicago yarn crawls, and I had just found the pattern. I was like, oh, I want to make this. Stopped into COG, C-O-G, COG Bikes and Yarn. And it's like on the north side of the city, and it's a bike and yarn shop. It's super cute. And I saw this yarn in there. It's Kelbourne Woolens Camper in the color, I think it's charcoal gray. This yarn, oh my gosh, like and this is 100% wool yarn. So beautiful. I loved working with it. It was so, like, it knitted up so quickly. It just, great stitch definition. I can't say more good things about this yarn. I thought it was great to work with. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely use this yarn again to make literally anything else. I just loved working with it that much that I would make, another hat, a scarf. I could see myself even doing a sweater with this. I loved it. And then on top of that, I also love the pattern. The pattern was like super easy to knit. Again, it's a super easy, very beginner friendly pattern. It would have been maybe like advanced beginner, because you do have to pick up stitches. So maybe that, it could potentially be an advanced beginner pattern. But either way, I love the pattern. It was so easy to catch on to. It was very portable. I didn't have to, I prefer patterns where I'm like, I can kind of look at it, get the gist of it, and kind of not have to constantly be looking at it like every 5 seconds. So that was how this was. Knitted up so quickly. This is the full look of it. As I said, it is still on the needles, but all I have to do at this point is, like, there's 8 stitches left here. I have to just weave in all these stitches together, and then I'll be done. But look at it. This is the size adult large. So what you do is you knit this. This is a triple fold brim. So like once you fold it up, it'll be like a triple layer brim. You start knitting, from the beginning. You don't even have to do provisional cast on. Now, if I were to make this hat again, which I will, I'm gonna do the provisional cast on, because I think it makes it easier, in my opinion, to pick up the stitches at this point. But you knit, all the way from like here on up, and then you're gonna fold this in here, and then this is where you've picked up stitches to kind of combine these two, because this is a double folded brim here. Then you combine them. From there, you turn, as in a German short row, and you start working knitting, like you knit stitch essentially, like you're knitting, but you're on the wrong side. And then eventually you get to whatever the point is, you turn again, and you're just gonna be knitting straight up. So what this does is, here, of course, it looks like garter, but on the back end here, you can tell that this section, if you can see it, it's still stockinette. So what happens is you're gonna fold this up like that. And then when you wear the hat, boom, like it all looks like stockinette. That little like section that looks like garter kind of helps the hat to fold up. So that's super cute to me. I am in love with this hat. I think it is really, really cute. I think it knitted up fairly quickly. I wish I would have been able to finish it in a whole weekend, but as I said, I went to go buy the yarn, and I guess I assumed that I was gonna be making a smaller size than what I was doing, because it calls for like 150 grams of like whatever yarn Petite Knit used in the pattern. I was like, oh, I won't need that much. And I only picked up 2 skeins, even though I knew it was gonna be held double, which was fine. But the 2 skeins together only equal, you know, 100, like each skein was 50 grams. I picked up 2, that was not enough. So basically I ran out of yarn like about here, and I was like, oh man. And I was like, I think I only need 2 more skeins left to finish the hat, but I ended up just getting 4 more skeins, because at that point I was just like discouraged that I had messed something up, and I was like, I don't know for sure, whatever. But obviously then that was way too much yarn, because then I finished, it was like from here all the way up here, and I still have like more than half of that skein, that original skein that I finished off the hat with. So all I have to say is that I technically have enough yarn to make a whole nother hat in the same exact yarn if I wanted to. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not yet, but I have enough yarn to do that if I wanted to. So again, Kelbourne Woolens Camper, and the colorway, it's like heathered gray, I believe is the name. This yarn is so amazing. Just go get it today, right now. Go order it, like make some swatches, do some stuff, make an Oslo hat. Actually, I took this hat when I was working on it to a knitting group over at Nina, and it's a yarn store here in Chicago on the Chicago Northside. And everyone just, they saw the pattern. I was like talking about it. Everyone was so excited. And one of the women there was like, I'm gonna cast on right now. She went, purchased yarn up at the counter and cast on the hat and started working on it right then and there. So the love of the Oslo hat continues. And again, I will definitely be making this again. I want to make it maybe in like a bright color. So I will let you guys know when I make it again. But I think this is just one of those great projects where the yarn, like I was in love with the yarn, I'm in love with the pattern, and knitted up really quickly. The finished product was really great. The quality, like it's 100% wool, 2 strands held together. You have this triple fold brim, like no cold air is getting into this hat. Like you're gonna be super freaking warm. This is like Chicago winter, 0 degree day, you know, your eyes are watering, you know, that's what this hat is for. And I can't wait to, not for that weather, but I just in general can't wait to wear it. I think it's really cool. Look at that. Who says I can't wear hats, even though I don't wear them often, but I will definitely wear this hat. It's so cute. Ah! Oh my God, okay, I love it. I love it even more now. All right, moving on to, what is the next thing I need to talk about? I believe it's yarn. Oh, no, whips. We need to talk about what I'm currently knitting, what's currently on my needles. So let me put this down and I'll get back to that. Okay, so our next segment is gonna be my whips, what I'm currently working on. And the first and most important whip that I have right now is the Cara wrap shirt. This is a test knit by Rebecca Clow from the Kraeo, and it is being made or being knitted out of Hedgehog Fibers Tweedy Original. So the very first one that they had. This yarn is so beautiful. Look at all those speckles of color. I actually have one that is currently still in the pink. this yarn? So beautiful, huh? Hedgehog Fibers, Tweedy. This is all my first time working with Hedgehog Fibers. I just love their yarns. I got to see, they have like a full collection. Like if you're ever here in Chicago and you go to Woolens Co out in Glen Ellen, I believe. Oh God, like they have a full section for Hedgehog Fibers, and it is like a dream come true. It's like yarn heaven. All those beautiful colors just like scrawled across. They have like pretty much every single base, every single color. It's insane how much Hedgehog Fibers they have there. I love it. Like I just really enjoy looking at all the yarn there, and I happened to just pick up one skein of that Tweedy, planning to put it with another yarn to make a cow out of. But that did not end up working. I just decided that I wanted that yarn to be used for this shirt, this wrap top instead. I thought it would be a better fit, and then maybe I'll go back to that cow idea as well. But for now, I wanted it to be this shawl. So it is coming along. It's due November 6th, so I'm very far behind, and that's probably because I've been putting other things in front of it, but I really need to kind of catch up on that. So it's gonna be like, this is the left, and then it's gonna be the right, and then it's gonna be a full little, you know, wrap top. So I'm excited about that. That's gonna be a fun thing to wear this winter. I just love all the color, to bring some color into the colder weather. Yeah, it's just single. It's a DK weight pattern. So, well, actually it was meant to be like fingering with the mohair, but I had just finished my Lento, held double with mohair. I was like, I'm not doing that. So here we are using a DK weight yarn. But not really much to showcase. I'm not that far along, but this I'm gonna have to start cranking out on, so because it's due. So it's definitely time for me to get moving on this, because I need all the time I can get, because I still have to go down the entire body, and then I'm making a crop version, so it'll be shorter, like the body will be shorter, but I'm making full length sleeves. So either way, I need to really get moving on this. Then next we have this baby blanket that I'm working on. There is no pattern for this. I'm just kind of not winging it. Like I have an idea of what I'm doing, but I just kind of made it up. So it was actually inspired by a blanket that I saw when I went to the yarn store to get this. I got the yarn for this at Idea Studio here in the Chicago suburbs during Yarn Crawl. Now, you guys can be the judge of this. I was not a fan of the colors that I chose. I wanted, because I walked in there, I saw the baby blanket laying there, and the color that the blanket that I saw was in, it was like this really hot pink color. And I wanted to make this blanket for my cousin who has a baby due in February, I believe. So I was like, okay, I want to make this blanket. She didn't have 5 skeins in one color. Like there were multiple skeins. I needed at least 5 skeins. There was not 5 skeins of one color that I wanted, of course. Like there was like 5 skeins of like a gray. I'm like, that's boring. So I ended up realizing that I needed to just maybe do some stripes, some colors. At the time, I did not know the gender of this baby. It was unknown, and I wasn't sure if she was going to want to know or what, and I was just like really eager to cast on. So I went ahead and went with what I assumed would be neutral colors. Now, it's like a light green. I love the colors together. Like this is a light green and this is the blue, like a light blue, and then I have a variegated, I think that's the right word. It's this color with white, and it's kind of like it's, I don't know, like speckledy. That's gonna be my third color. So I have three colors. It's this lime green here, this light blue, that variegated like speckly yarn, and then I'm gonna go back to this. It's gonna be green, this blue, the variegated yarn, this blue again on top of that variegated yarn, and then this lime green again. And then this is the pattern. It's just, you're doing a little bit of garter, and then you have a stockinette, and it's in boxes. So for 10 stitches across, 10 tall, and then you switch to the opposite, stitch pattern. So that's all it is. Fairly simple. I realized that it's one of those things you can kind of do mindlessly, but I've made so many mistakes because I'll be knitting, you know, and not thinking, and then I'm, you know, doing a garter, like I'm doing knit, stitch, and I should be doing purl, whatever. So that's fine. I've been enjoying knitting this up. I think I'm just like, I don't want to say regret. I love the colors. I know now the baby is going to be a girl, so I'm just like, I could have maybe waited or ordered online and got like some really pretty girly pink yarns, but it's fine. I like the colors. I just like them less now, knowing that I could have some really girly colors, which I would have maybe preferred working with more, but maybe I need to step out of my comfort zone and choose some other types of colors sometimes too. So you guys let me know down in the comments what you think of the colors that I have and I chose. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like this light blue could be neutral, but I feel like the colors are leaning towards boy. I don't know. At this point, this is what she's getting because this yarn was fairly expensive, and it's gonna take a lot of work. Like I still have at least 3 more skeins worth of yarn to go through. So this is what she's gonna get. I'm gonna make some other stuff that are gonna be out of like some really girly, you know, pink colors, just because that's my favorite color. And I want to do some like girly stuff with it. I have so much like pink yarn that I can make like little hats and maybe like a little sweater if I have time. But yeah, this is the blanket. I'm like, you know, every day I kind of go back and forth on the colors, but neither here nor there. All the skeins have been wound up, so I have to just go with it at this point. But I'm like, I'm happy about the pattern. I like what I'm like working on. I like how the stitches are forming. And I really like working with this yarn. I think that this is my second baby blanket, but my first time making a baby blanket out of completely 100% cotton. And I love this yarn. This is, actually, I should have said it, Juniper Moon. And I don't have the tags for the actual colored colors, but as I said, there's no pattern. I made it up as I was going along, and the brand of the yarn is Juniper Moon. It's 100% cotton. It's like this, I think it's called Spun or Spoon or something. There's like a name for this type of yarn, but I think I like working with it. It's been nice. I've enjoyed working. It knits up really quickly. I'm using, I think, size 9, so knitting up fairly quickly. I finished the skein in like a couple hours. Okay, so the next slip, sorry, my cat is moving the camera. The next slip this is the progress I've made on it. It is the Snowfall Sweater Scarf by Knititude. And this is the progress that I have. This is like so what it's gonna be is like, this is the cuff, right? And then it's gonna knit all the way up, and you're gonna have this like wrap thing going on here, and then it's gonna go back down the other side. And it's gonna be super cute. I was trying to get the exact yarn that she used in the picture. I think I got the exact brand, not the exact color. I couldn't find that color. It's called linen, and maybe it's not made anymore. Maybe I just was having a hard time finding it. But anyways, there happened to be a sale going on let me find the tag in here. It will tell me. Okay, so this is a Lime brand yarn, and it is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And what's the name of this yarn? It's a number 4 medium weight. Oh, Wool Ease. So this is the yarn, Wool Ease. It is in, what is the color here? I can't find the name of the color for some reason. Oh, Antler? Oh, okay, so yeah, Wool Ease, the color Antler. It's very close to the linen color. It's just like an off-white. So I'm happy about it. It was as close as possible to what I could find for what she made the pattern out of. I really wanted the same color, but I'll settle for the off-white, the Antler. It came out pretty good. And that was the thing. There was a sale going on at Lime brand, and I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get the yarn now. I wasn't ready to cast on at the moment, but I figured it was a good time to get the yarn since it was on sale. So have this casted on. I'm gonna be working on, first priority is the Cara wrap for sure, and then I'm just gonna kind of move along. After the Cara wrap, then this sweater scarf is my next priority, and then the baby blanket, because I do need to finish that by February. So we shall see if I cast on yet another project and add to these 3 whips. But I have a lot going on right now, so I probably shouldn't, but that hasn't stopped me before. So Okay, and last but not least, we have some yarn acquisitions because I'm always somewhere buying yarn that I should not be buying, but hey. So I went to Nina on, I think it was last, no, not last weekend. I think it was the 16th, that was a Saturday, the week of the 16th. So they had a knit night. That's when I was like, they were talking about the Oslo hat. And the way their knit nights work, they happen like, I think like every season or something. And like you pay $10 to reserve your spot at the knit night. And then you can get it, because you register, you get a $10 off coupon, $10 off of a $50 purchase or whatever. So essentially you could either buy something and use your $10 coupon, or you can not, and that's fine. But of course, you're at a yarn store, you get $10 off. You gotta go ahead and buy the yarn. So I bought 2 skeins of this Sister Ananse yarn, and it is the colorway, I believe it's called Romance. I cannot wait to cast on what will be, I believe it's called during Chicago Yarn Crawl, all the yarn stores had a free pattern for you to download. And there was one store, I believe it was the Blooming Spindle. They had a free pattern, and it was like this like a scarf that you could go ahead and make out of any kind of yarn that has this like pooling effect in the yarn. So I'm gonna make that scarf out of this yarn. Don't know when I'm gonna have time to cast on, but I will soon do that, and that's what this yarn will be made into. And then I went ahead, and so during Nina's 20th anniversary was this weekend, and they had, it was last weekend, and they had a Kraeo trunk show in the back room. So beautiful. Like and then the thing is that I went on her website and I saw, well, on the newsletter they had a picture of like her recent, show setup, and so that we can kind of get a feel for what was going to be happening. And I was like, I saw this yarn, this bright bold color in the picture, and I was like, I'm going there to the trunk show, I'm only picking this up. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna pick this up. And I knew that I wanted it in DK because I had an idea of making like a Sophie scarf out of that. Like how, like, look at that. Like a Sophie scarf out of this would be super crazy. Like it would be so cute. I figured DK weight would be a good weight to do it in, and I've been kind of liking DK weight recently. So this is Bleeding Heart is the colorway. It is on their Mama Bear base. This is a DK 2-ply, 45% baby alpaca, 45% merino wool, 10% mulberry silk, and it feels oh so amazing. 245 yards. So I think this might be enough for a small Sophie. I don't know. I can't remember. I think maybe, let me look it up. I think I could probably do a large Sophie scarf out of this. So we shall see. I might be doing, if I can do the larger Sophie scarf, then I would prefer that. Yes, I can. So 140 yards is what's needed for a larger Sophie scarf. So I have more than enough to make a larger one. I can probably even make, yeah, I might be able to make, you guys tell me my math is bad. I might be able to make a larger one and a small one. Not that I would need that, but yeah. So, yep, I actually have exactly enough to make a large one and a small one if I wanted to do. So that's what this is going to be. I picked it up knowing that it was going to be a Sophie scarf. I just have to figure out what I'm going to cast on. Yeah, because it can't be right now. Because I want to cast on. I want to work with the rest of that Kelbourne Woolens, I think. Maybe I will cast this on. Maybe I'll make a Sophie scarf out of this and I'll cast on tonight. I don't know. But that will be getting made into a Sophie scarf at some point. Now, then, okay, again, some more Sister Ananse yarn because I just love her color work. This is called Fly July. Look at how beautiful this is. Can you just take a moment to just look, look at all that color and how like it all works. It all just blends. It's just, I love her color work so much. She's such a great dyer. Like man, this is in fingering weight. What will this become, Simone? Why did you buy this? I don't know. I'm just gonna let the yarn speak to me, tell me what it wants to be, because that's what this yarn deserves. At one point I was like, oh, maybe a really colorful, crazy Sophie scarf. Possibly, maybe. Maybe it could be socks. I haven't made socks since the pandemic, so Maybe it could be some socks, some really fun, funky socks. Maybe it can just sit here and be beautiful. Whatever it wants to do, I'm gonna let it do because this deserves that type of treatment. Nina, I got it from Nina. They also have like they can get, they'll order more for me. So maybe I could even do like I was thinking maybe like a Tulsa top or like the Tulsa what do you call it? The tank. I've already purchased a Tulsa tee. So maybe I could start one of those in this and then I'll definitely need more. I'll need at least 2 more skeins of this to complete it, but maybe I can cast on a Tulsa tee with this. I don't know. You guys let me know what your suggestions for this yarn is. I have no idea. I just picked it up because, like, look at that. It's like cotton candy. It's so beautiful. Then this leads me to the yarn that I got for free. So when you went to Nina for the 20th anniversary celebration, every $50 you spent got you a ticket into their money machine, which is like when all the money is like blowing up, you got to catch it. And they were called makers bucks, I think. He would pick up all the money, you put it into the box, and they would count it for you. And then however much you got, there were like different sections of prizes you could like purchase. I ended up getting like I think 51,000 makers bucks, and so then I was able to get some stuff. And this is one of the yarns that I picked up for free. This is Miss Babs L'Oreal Falls, and it's a sport weight yarn. I don't know what I'm doing with this, but I mean, I looked at it and I saw it from across the room. And I was like, I love that color. It's gone home with me. The color is called Bachelor Buttons. This is only 150 yards, so not much I can do with this. But I could do a selfie scarf. Okay, so I only need 140 yards for that. So this could be a selfie scarf. Oh my god! And I only have like 10 yards left, and I can maybe just do like some color work. It's gonna be a selfie scarf. Yep, another selfie scarf. So that's what that's gonna be. I also got these needles that I'm using for my Snowfall scarf. Look at those. How beautiful is that? It's all pink. The wire is pink, or the cable, and all that is hot pink as well. And then this is actually like a ruler, so I think it's on this side. It tells you this. So this is like 1 inch. This is 2 inch. So that's kind of cool. That was one of the free options I got as well. Then there was actually another skein of yarn that I forgot in this bin. I also had enough to get one more skein of yarn, and I got this. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this beautiful color. Let's just take a moment. Let's appreciate it. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. It is colorway Be Happy. Base is Hippie Sheep. The company is M1 Yarns. So, yep, that's what this is. It's just beautiful. I love how vibrant this is. I don't even know, again, don't know what this is going to be. It could be another selfie scarf. I have more than enough to make more. It's a DK weight yarn, and I have 246 yards. So, again, I can make exactly 1 large and 1 small selfie scarf from this skein of yarn. Why do I need all this selfie scarves? I don't know, but I would do it. I would just make this 2 selfie scarves. But I would definitely make 1 selfie scarf out of this, I think. And then have to find something else for the other option. I don't really know what else, but again, let me know your suggestions. And that's about it. I don't have any more acquisitions, thank God, from like recently, but those were the ones that just have been acquired within this month. So I wanted to share those. Let me know your thoughts on any of the yarn or the whips or the finished projects. Let me know what you think I should do next other than selfie scarves, because I'm going to be making that anyways. It doesn't matter. I have a few more patterns I want to make that are baby related. I have another friend from my knitting group who's having a baby, and there's a baby shower in November, so I'm going to be working on some little baby hats. I might even make a baby Oslo hat. Yes, I'm definitely doing that. A baby Oslo hat. I have so much yarn here that I could use for like baby stuff. There was like one of my friends from my knitting group had a yarn yard sale, and I got so much yarn from that and a lot of pink yarn. So I have infinite amount of yarn to do baby hats with. So yeah, so a baby Oslo hat will be being casted on at some point as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know how frequently maybe I should do these. I was thinking maybe like once a week, or Yeah, maybe once a week. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great one. Bye-bye.